What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ. Today I want to focus in on the Flyers amnesty in both Bryzgalov and Briere and what it means going forward and what Philly can expect us in the offseason. I tweeted this earlier today. Philly's have made more bold moves in the offseason in the last 6 years than I think any other team in hockey. Going back to 2007, they had the number 2 pick in the draft, drafted Ben Ramsdijk. They traded the pick they got back to Nashville in the Forsberg trade for Hartnell and Timonen. Then they signed Briere on July 1st. 2008, I don't think they made a bold move. 2009, Pronga, obviously. 2010, trading Gagne, who would come up huge from against the Bruins, to Tampa Bay. 2011, the move of the day, shipping Mike Richards and Jeff Carter out west. Obviously, Carter would go to the Midwest before he joined Mike Richards in the Pacific Coast. Then signing Bryzgalov the same day, that was 2011. 2012 last year, the Shea Weber offer sheet. So you look at history, I still think there's a bold move. And I mean, this year, you've already amnestied two of those guys that were, bold moves. I think Briere will get picked up. Obviously, he's got supposedly 15 teams calling for him. As a Bruins fan, I'd love to see him in black and gold. I think him, Marchand, and Bergeron make a great French Connection line type thing. And I think he could fit well in Claude's system. I think he wants a Stanley Cup, and the Bruins obviously came really close this year, but. I think having a guy like Briere, who's not settled down by a huge contract, can go out just play his game and contribute. And then I think Bryzgalov maybe goes back to Phoenix, or more than likely goes to KHL. They'll talk about Philly quashes personality. I don't think Peter Laviolette gives a shit what your personality is as long as you're playing well. And Bryzgalov wasn't playing well, and I don't think it's an ego with him. I just think he's kind of a weird guy. I mean, you're getting a puck shot at you for a living. I know he broke it down, defenseman blocking shots with the equipment on 24/7, but Philly's taking a huge financial hit for it. It's not a cap hit, I know, but it's still money out of Ed Snyder's pocket. So I think our Comcast bills will go up next month. But they're going to be paying off the next 14 years. I think it's 1.5 for the next. Or 2 point, I forget the ins and outs of it, but it's a tough situation. They made the bold move to finally address the goaltending situation in Philly, which has been their Achilles heel, for pretty much. Obviously with Hextall and Pelly Lindbergh, and they've had quality number one. Bernie Perron, obviously, they've had quality number one goalies, but just not. In recent years, and they look at a team a couple years ago in the finals with Boucher and was it Michael Layton, and then you trade Bobrovsky away for a second round pick, which I thought was a great get for Philly, and obviously he goes ahead and wins the Vezina Trophy with the Columbus Blue Jackets. You can't script hockey, but I remember when they made the deal with Bryzgalov, opening night against the Bruins, Stanley Cup banner night. I was watching the game, and he was amazing. The 2-1 win for the Flyers. He was outstanding. How great he was playing. And you look at it, and I was like, Philly's always been held hostage by a goaltending situation. Now they've addressed that, and this could be a whole new animal with the Philadelphia Flyers, but obviously it wasn't meant to be. If you see my mock draft going forward on what Philly's going to do, changing the subject a little bit, I got them taking Nikita Zadorov off the London Knights. I think he's a good organizational fit, tenacious, big defenseman that I think could develop a little bit of upside offensively. But it's a crapshoot, and I don't think they're done wheeling and dealing for current NHL players. And I think they will make a deal for a goalie. I'm not totally sure Holmgren wants to start the season with Mason, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's all this episode of the Power Play with CJ on Philly, amnesty, and Bryzgalov and Danny Briere, as well as what they'll do as we start the offseason. Stay tuned for episodes throughout the offseason and beyond. Later, guys.